Hello, I'm Madeline Tynan from Tynan Motors, and today we're with Aaran Duncan from Southern Districts. We are really proud to announce that we are a new sponsor of Southern Districts. We feel like we're back in our old territory yet again. Thanks for coming up. It's great to have a chat with you. We just want to run through a couple of things that obviously our clients will be wanting to ask us why we're involved. So we just want to run past and talk to you and hear what Southern Districts are up to.
Sure.
I'd like to ask you, what's your vision for Southern Districts? Like, you're now the chair, you're actually in the hot seat. What's your sort of position and where do you want to take it?
I suppose to envelope it all for our vision is that we've been working for about a year or so on that exact thing, on where do we take Southern Districts and how do we cement its future, not only in rugby union but in the community that we're in, and solidify it with our local businesses and things like that. So we've really moved to a position where we're getting our back office completely in order.
Right. You've changed a lot of the board as well.
Changed a lot of the board, and not that it was a issue, but you have to roll with the times. You have to new blood, new vision, new ideas, which brings new partnerships and old partnerships back together.
Yes.
And ensures that you have 2 or 3 years of a pipeline of what you're going to happen. And so we brought in the right strategic partners to work with us to be able to improve our home ground, improve our corporate vision, improve our sponsorship and so forth.
So what do you think your biggest opportunities are at the club right now, like today?
I think our biggest opportunity at the club now is to cement ourselves where we make rugby union in the Sutherland Shire a very viable growth sport for our local junior kids, men, women, and enable it to grow strong and stable with great backing, so that there's a community behind the whole sport.
Well, it definitely needs some money put into the sport, and that comes a lot from community plus government. So I know there's a bit of a push too to try and get some more money from government. How's that going with you?
Yeah, it's a very long process. Local government's hard because they don't have a lot of money themselves. State government is another ball and dice. It's who you're voting for this week and so forth.
Well, that's exactly right.
We're
very politically one way in the Shire, so it is hard at this particular time.
So you don't have to do much to get voted in some cases. Right. But it's certainly, that's where we're really pointing what we need to do is create those long-term connections with those funding authorities.
What do you see as the challenges? The Shire obviously is very focused in sport.
Yes.
What do you see the challenges?
The challenges are dilution of our sport, I think, with our little clubs, our small community clubs, and trying for Southern Districts to become a strong enough behemoth that we can support our local clubs to grow the junior games, so that there is pathways through to representative, there's pathways through to
so getting into schools and all that
absolutely
sort of stuff.
Programs with local schools.
I suppose in saying that, I know that's a vision of yours, is making sure you do get into those schools. You're looking at putting on someone to actually work in that area? Yeah,
we're actually, those plans were discussed in the board meeting on Tuesday night again. And that was
I wasn't listening.
No, that's okay. But it's all about doing that exact thing, so that we can not only grow the game in the schools, but with our local community, and make sure that they come back to the home of rugby union. And
right. And what do you think is probably, being as chair, what's your proudest moment that you've seen so far that you think you've achieved with your board?
Yeah, I think the best thing that I felt great about is the teamwork that is now happening in the club. The coaches, the managers, the playing group, the leadership group. We all seem to have a very, very fluid relationship where anybody can ask anything, anybody can challenge anything, and there's no feeling of somebody's getting a priority treatment. We're very open about, we want everybody to succeed, we want everybody to, and we lift everybody's game up.
There's a nice feeling at the moment.
Yeah, it's really good.
I feel that from the juniors up, it seems to be a nice feeling that's coming in there. How important is it to now have us on board as one of your sponsors?
Huge. It's been in the back of my mind for a couple of years, and I'm sure there's a lot of text messages that have gone back and forth.
There's quite a few.
But it's been really, it's really not easy, but to get corporate sponsorship at a level that you need and partnership, to go to somebody that's big enough and strong enough to work with you and to do these sort of things with you as well, to promote the game is hard. But it's very important for us to have got Tynan on board because of your strength in the Sutherland Shire, your exposure, your connection and your corporate. And for us, it means going forward, we're very comfortable with plans that we're going to put. We know we're going to be supported. We know that a big corporate is going to support us with those plans. So having Tynan on board is one of our key things ticked off.
Do you think there's a cultural simulation between Southern Districts and Tynans?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we look at how you've positioned all different dealerships around the area, and they work together, and it's all led by the family, so to speak.
Very
And
much.
but it's a family culture, and and that's what we're trying to do here at South, was have that same culture and that same belief that everybody knew that everybody was working for the same goal.
I think that was one of the things that really got me as well too in the discussions. It is about family, and it is about, I mean, this company's been going for 60 years now, and there's a massive change and movement that we all probably can talk about, with electric cars, hybrid cars, and then you could see this big change happening at Southern District. So it was something we really wanted to get involved in, and make sure that we beat Sydney Uni and come down and do it there. Talking of that community, what's in store that you've got going? There's I got a big list of things on every week basically down there, not just rugby. There's a whole lot happening down there.
Well, that's what we're trying to do, is to ensure that our community is not restricted by just the existing rugby community. You know, we host OzTag, we touch, we have Women's Rugby League, we have Men's Rugby League down there, local and also representative. We host international fixtures down there. And the idea is to open our precinct up, not for the point of view of just to try and grab all those players back to rugby union, which would be lovely for some of them, but to show them that there's a community down here, and there's something else that they can join and sign up into. So.
Well, I noticed, I mean, obviously with the girls now playing rugby and rugby league, etc., I mean, it's just added a new dimension.
Yeah.
And actually, I suppose it's good with community because it does open up a whole different vibe when you're at the rugby.
Yes.
Because I know I have two of my granddaughters and grandson all playing rugby now.
Yeah.
And it's a completely different vibe than I would have noticed when my boys were playing rugby. It has opened up, and which is really lovely to see that happening.
It's been a huge change. I think that from a spectator, and I've only got girls, and they've played rugby league and rugby union, and from my perspective, I've seen the whole change on respect. Mutual respect of they're all athletes, and they all do the same thing, and I've said it many times that sometimes I really prefer watching the women's rugby than the men's rugby, because there's a lot of unnecessary testosterone in some of the men's games, and the women is just pure skill. And it's really attractive to watch.
It's very fast.
Yeah, it's great.
It's very fast.
And so it's a really big part of our philosophy we want to grow to get that sort of side of things going.
So when you're saying that you are having days for the younger ones right through to the seniors. Obviously, we have to, it's not just about playing footy, it's about a social connection with community, which I always found with Southern Districts to be really strong out there. If you had one thing that you'd want to leave the club with when you finish your tender, what would that be?
It'd be very easy to say a premiership in any grade, but to be quite honest, I get the biggest kick out of leaving and knowing that the players are leaving with a smile on face, win, lose or draw. They enjoyed their time, they had a great time there. Last week I think I was at the club until 10:30 having a great time, all the players are there, and they all left, a lot of them, a long time after I did. That fulfills my satisfaction that things are working well. And it's
I know that those connections are there. Like my kids are in their 40s, the eldest one, and they've still got rugby connections. And my uncle, who was a sponsor down there, Johnny Gregg, he's still got his rugby connections and everything with Southern Districts. People do tend to come back.
Yes, they do.
And we're back. And we're really excited about what the future will lead for Tynan Motors and Southern Districts.
We are too.
The other thing I just want to finish before we finish up is you have been to a meeting to join all of the sports together in the community. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I suppose it's something that's probably very long overdue and quite progressive to align the heads of all of the sports
Yes,
so to speak.
rugby league,
soccer, netball, cricket, rugby union, and surf lifesaving. The real big participation sports in the Sutherland Shire.
So we try and get some money down here in the Sutherland Shire.
And it's about that working out what we all need and being able to take that further collectively and work together rather than working against, because I think a colleague worked it out that when we took into all of our account of our measurements and our touch points, we represent about 200-something thousand people in the Sutherland Shire, and with a population of 300,000, we could probably put ourselves up for a vote and would probably pass if we did the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the power that all these groups do hold.
Yeah.
We just got to get organised.
Right. So what I love about going down to a game, you don't have to walk a million miles to get a parking spot. You can get in, watch top grade rugby.
Yep.
Actually, some of that shoot shield is better than, can I say, the Australian rugby sometimes. Like
you
shoot
can say
shield,
it because it is.
Yeah, shoot shield is really where it's at, and it's great to watch. And it's great that you can get it on television.
Yep.
You can just switch it on wherever you are and be able to watch it. So
100%. Yeah.
it's been really an eye opener to be actually get that now and happening within.
Well, most of my friends are all rugby league people and soccer people, and they all come down 2 or 3 times a year now, and it's the best day that they have of the year because they get to watch from 4th grade social people playing right through to 1st grade professionals playing, and they really enjoy the atmosphere and the contact, and it's just, it's refreshing.
Aaran, thanks so much.
No problem.
It's
Thank
great
you.
to be back at Southern Districts and to be building a relationship with you and your board, and we look forward to a great season.
Thank you.